Madly checking in, wrapping it up from Smith Lake. Stop number 3, Bass Pro Tour. And a little late on my recap, what I caught them on. Really just disappointed in the finish. I started out strong, catching them. All is good. And then as the Derby went, I just dwindled off. Made a couple missed opportunities, couple bad decisions. Could have gone either way, and this week it didn't. But it was a good tournament. 28th, finishing the event is respectable. But living here, I really wanted a chance that final day. Didn't happen. But besides all that, I'm gonna take you through what I did, what I caught them on, kind of what I was thinking. So the water was 2.5 feet high when we started the event, and really one of the best ways to get bit is in a drain and a run in. I had a couple that thought I could catch a lot and started out catching them. I was really throwing a shaky head, a lot doing that. A little finesse jig, big rig bassin coming out with, working on, but really nothing crazy about the baits that I was using. It was a lot about the areas and timing. And starting out, I was throwing 20-pound, high vis, flash green, Seagar, smackdown braid. I actually throwing on a 12-pound Tatsu leader. Tied FG knot, the heavier fluoro. I like an FG knot because it just makes that knot that much smaller. I tie them both, Albright and FG. When I'm using heavier fluoro leader, I like the FG. It's worth the extra time it takes to tie it. And I was throwing an 1/8 ounce and 3/16 ounce shaky head from Owner, finesse worm, 30 series, Quantum Smoke X, reel, looks fire, and a 7.4 vapor rod. That's a 744 rod. So it's my shaky head rod. Anything that has a hook, finesse fishing, that you have to set the hook. It doesn't have an open hook, exposed hook on it. You have to set the hook like a shaky head. 744 vapor is the ticket. Then, as the tournament went on, the water started to fall. I definitely changed it up. I knew that was coming and adjusted, started catching a lot of fish, going in the knockout round on day 2 on some shallow points. The shallow clay points, the spotted bass really like to get on this time of year, pre-spawn into the spawn, and I really tried the cranking deal, and I would get up on top of the point, see a lot of fish on the live scope, on 360, see shadows. They really weren't wanting to fire on the crankbait, so then I started dropping a little nail weight worm on them. That was with 8-pound Tatsu, the same high vis, same setup. Actually throwing it, this is a prototype rod. I throw the Accurist 7.2 rod, so it's got an exposed hook with the nail weight worm. Don't need quite as stiff of a setup when it comes to rods with the exposed hook, and that's what I roll with there. And then casting at a lot of the fish in open water when I wasn't. With the nail weighted worm, a lot of times if it's shallow water, I want them to fall they follow it down to the bottom. It's really hard to get those fish to bite a lot of times in the water column. Actually get their attention, let the worm go to the bottom, give it a real light shake without moving it, and catch them that way. But if they're out in open water, the Sakamata, I would cast this at them and change different heads based on the depth I was fishing. This is an 1/8 ounce darter head from Owner, and the Sakamata shad is a pearl white. And this bait, I wasn't able to get where a lot of fish were feeding. Always around fish, caught a lot of non-scorables, but I didn't find an area that had a lot of scorables and they were eating. And that kind of kept this deal from really going off for me. Sakamata shad, I'll try to give you a little shot of it when I'm in the water. It has these little flared out gills on it that actually when that bait's sinking, it has a wobbling like stick bait, Cinco type action on it that's juicy. I mean, this bait's pretty torn up. I mean, it's got the bite marks Check that out. Pretty torn up. But I threw it, I throw my little swim baits, and I threw this on straight 8-pound Tatsu on my spinning setup. This is the accuracy. This is that same 7.2 rod that I'll throw a nail weight on. It's a lighter rod, allows me to detect bites better. I don't need something super stiff for fishing something with an exposed hook. 30 series Smoke X reel. But that knockout round day, I just started to missed opportunities, fell 12 pounds back, thought I really had to kind of zero hero, as they say, and go find something. The crankbait I was throwing a lot is this Evoke Springtime. I mean, this deal right here, this crankbait is one of my favorites. This is the 1.8, and it's got a little bit different bill on there, but that's the 1.8 meters is the dive depth, and it's pretty beat up. Pretty beat up dude. And I really should have just stuck with what I was doing. Hindsight's 20/20, and if it wasn't enough to make the cut, it wasn't enough. But going and finding new water with a tough bite is really tough. It's hard to do. Making just doing it on the fly, and I wasted about an hour and a half doing that, and then caught a few at the end. Lost another good one, and just wasn't my afternoon. But it was awesome to be at home. Awesome to fish tournament on Smith Lake. Now I really want to get back. Probably going out on the lake here tomorrow and just fishing. I just want to go out there and catch them, figure out what I missed. But fun week, and those were my setups. So hit me up, comments, questions, and I'll try to answer them. Help you catch more fish. See you.